Hey guys, Marissa at kitchentablestamper.com. I've got the cutest little candy bar box for you today. I love these Moser Roth candy bars from Aldi. You get 5 individually wrapped bars in a box. I am personally super fond of this 85% dark, and so is my husband. So this is what I'm using. They have all kinds of really awesome flavors. I don't like their milk chocolate as much as I like the darks, but they're good. They're cute little bars, make great treats. We're going to do a box for it featuring this gorgeous new Butterfly Bayou designer series paper. And we're going to pair that up with the Brilliant Wings dies. These are brand new. These are early release from the next annual catalog from Stampin' Up. And let me show you how cool this works. So the die matches the designer series paper, so you can get all these brilliant butterflies in one pass through your machine. So I'm just gonna, since we've already got it here and I've got a little washi tape on the die itself, I'm just gonna line this one die up on the designer series paper, and look at that, it's gonna cut all of those brilliant butterflies at one time. There's a matching stamp too that'll stamp all 6 butterflies. You can cut them out at once. The Butterfly Brilliance bundle. Say that 10 times fast. All right, so let's give it a little crank here through our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And we'll have all the butterflies we need for a lot of candy boxes. But I'm gonna stick with this color palette that we're doing here. Little shades of yellow, Daffodil Delight, so saffron, and some just jade. Look at that. 1. That's what we're going to use. 2, 3. I love this one. Little one. Put this one aside. And the other 3 are still in the die. Oh, that one flew away. There's 4, 5, 6. Gorgeous butterflies, all in one pass of the die. Isn't that fabulous? I'm going to show you one more die. Oh, we've got our machine here. Look at this. This awesome square postage die. We're going to use that one today from the snail dies. Love this die. I wish we had a whole set of these nested. I'm going to just crank one of those out using some Whisper White cardstock here. I'm still using some Whisper White. Basic White is lovely too. I keep calling it Whisper White because I'm still using some, but I do have both and they're awesome. Both are good cardstocks. I like to use my Whisper White up on treats because I don't have any more Whisper White envelopes. So you'll be seeing me do that for a little while. Look at, is that not the best shape ever for a layer or for stamping your focal image? All right, I think we have our die cutting that I'm going to do on camera done. And since I've got my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine here, indulge me for just one more minute. I already cut a square layer for inside our postage square. I used my Stitched Shapes dies. It's the second largest square. And I want to put some texture on this. We're going to practically lose the stitching, so I could have used just the layering squares, but I didn't realize that until after they were all cut. So I'm going to put some Pinewood Planks texture on that square. Just pop it in the folder on number 1, and this is one of the older 3D folders. It has Sizzix on it. The ones that have Sizzix on it get cranked through your machine with plate number 3 on top. So if you use some of the older folders, that'll help. If it's a new folder that does not say Sizzix on it, 3D folder, then you need the number 4 plate. And look at this little wooden texture. I love that behind my butterfly. All right, now we've done a lot of the accessory pieces here. We've got our butterfly, our little wood texture, and where did I put my gorgeous postage square? Underneath the machine, go figure. All right, let's do a little bit of gluing. I love to put the pieces together, then I don't lose them underneath the die cut machine. So a little multi-purpose liquid glue. We're gonna glue the square inside of the postage, and the stitches on the top and bottom are gonna show on the postage, but the square from the stitch shape's a little bit wider than the border inside the postage. Looks pretty good. I'm going to just very gently fold up the wings here and add some glue to the back of the body. I'm going to put that guy on a little bit of an angle and burnish. Now we can set this piece aside for a minute. Let's take a look at our box. Our box is 5 by 5 7/8. Let's get our Simply Scored tool and score it up. I'm using Daffodil Delight cardstock. We're going to put it in on the 5-inch side first, and then you're going to score at 1/2, 7/8, 2 3/4, 3 1/8. Then you're going to rotate once to the right and score at 3/8, 5 inches, 5 3/8. Let's work that with the bone folder. All right, let's grab some paper snips and we're going to cut according to the template. Now, the template photo is always on the printable project sheet. If you follow the link below, if you're on YouTube, to the blog, there's a link that says project details. Click here. Then on the blog, underneath the embedded video, there's a printable project sheet. On the printable project sheet, I always put a photograph of the template because I think that sometimes it's easiest to tell what to cut away when you can already see what's cut away. So we angle cut and took out the ends for our glue tab. Now we're going to go down along this edge, taking out both of these long rectangles. Stop when you get to that little square. You're going to go down and cut that out completely. We want to keep the little square, so cut over one score line, and then along the edge of these two long rectangles, which will, when you debulk a bit, liberate your tab. Same thing here. All the way down to the second score line, off with that little rectangle, debulk and liberate the tab. Then at the bottom, you just want to cut these apart up to the score line, intersecting score line, and out with a little dart to debulk. Cute, cute, cute. Okay, so we've got our Butterfly by Designer Series paper. You can get this in a exclusive pre-release gorgeous paper, don't you think? But what I had noticed was that some of these butterflies coordinate really nicely with some of the flowers and flowers for every season. So I've got a piece of flowers for every season Designer Series paper here. This is 1 3/4 by 4 3/8. Let me go ahead and round the corners on my tab here. And the box is going to close to the back of the box. So we're going to adhere our Designer Series paper on the same panel that we're rounding the corners of the tab. So let's do that with some multi-purpose liquid glue. And then this one with the Designer Series paper, and the tab is the front of the box. We always want our seams to go to the back. So we're going to lift this bottom tab right here, and we're going to add some tear and tape. Tear and tape here, and we will do our long glue tab on the side of the box. Now let's go this way since I kind of pulled it off at an angle. So adhesive here and here. Now we can go ahead and pull the long and let's roll this up into our box. So match the fold to the edge there. Careful with those corners. When you got it, you can just kind of flatten out and burnish. Tuck in the side tabs, then you go back to front and then peel and fold the front tab to the back. which puts all the seams in the back of the box. See that? Now we need a little thumb notch. It'll make it easier to get that open and closed. I just use the retired Stampin' Up! 1/2 inch punch. If you don't have a 1/2 inch circle punch, I usually include Amazon links for one. I'm sorry that Stampin' Up! Doesn't have one anymore, but it's just too useful. Sometimes you need a 1/2 inch circle. All right, let's pop in our candy bar and close it up. This beautiful flowers for every season designer series paper has some so saffron and maybe a little bumblebee. I think the Daffodil Delight works in there as kind of just another shades of yellow kind of gorgeousness. We're going to tie up the box with just jade ribbon, which will tie the flowers and our butterfly of choice right together here. I love this combination of the butterfly and the floral paper. It just delights me. All right, let's see here. I might need a little more. Might need a little more slack in my ribbon here. Tie a bow, nice and snug. Kind of big loops, kind of long tails. We don't want it to compete with the butterfly, but I love that pop of just jade. Let's get some ribbon scissors and liberate it from the spool. Fix the angle there. Looking good. Now, our beautiful butterfly, let's adhere. The secret here is going to be dimensionals on the ribbon. And that'll secure the ribbon, so when your recipient unties to open the box, the ribbon will just fall open. It'll stay secured to the box, and the box is reclosable. I'm gonna throw a little bit of extra adhesive, kind of in the wider spaces there. Pop our little butterfly panel right on. So beautiful. I love it. All right, so I've got the word enjoy, and I got that one from Country Home. This is the Country Home stamp set. It's a photopolymer set, 14 pieces from Stampin' Up. I love this little hello, enjoy, love, and thanks words. They work perfectly to make bitty tags. I use my classic label. We're just gonna punch one of those from our white scrap. Then it's photopolymer, so we'll grab our Stampin' Pierce mat. I've got my Memento Tuxedo black ink to pull in that black from the body of the butterfly. I'm doing the word enjoy with that dark chocolate. Left of center, leaving just enough room to turn this into a tag using a hole punch. Love this little words. Clean, clear text fits right on that label, the classic label punch. Got lots of different words that you can use to embellish. I love a little word tag embellishment. It's the easiest way for me to add sentiments to is these little word tags, because then I don't have to worry about if I mess up my project. It's really hard for me to stamp a greeting on after I've kind of designed a project. I'm always afraid that I'll stamp it on wrong. It'll go uphill or downhill or ruin something. So these little words and this classic label are the perfect way to get a sentiment onto a project, and you know that you won't ruin anything. You'll only enhance it with some great embellishment. I'm going to run some linen thread through the tag. Ooh, that end's a little wide. Let's snip it. Give ourselves a skinnier start. Tie a big loopy bow here. I love the curly tails, the kind of natural fiber, but the curly tails kind of remind me of a butterfly trail, you know? They don't exactly fly in straight lines. So little curly cues, I think, enhance the project. We're going to add that with some dimensional adhesive. I'm going to go ahead and put I'm going to put 2 half dimensionals. I might have done 2 mini dimensionals if I had them handy, because it's going onto a package and it's going to get tied and untied, handles around. I use a lot of adhesive. Put our little tag, and then have you seen these gorgeous little flowers? They're kind of fibery. They're not quite fabric. They're not quite paper. They remind me of old mulberry paper. If you've been stamping for a while, you know mulberry paper. And they got a little wooden bead center. They're from the Boho Indigo medley or the Boho Indigo refill. I love the paper and I love these flowers. They're amazing. I'm gonna just pop one of those right over to cover the adhesive. Make sure I got my glue dot. There is our candy bar box. What do you think? Don't you just love the Butterfly Brilliance and the new designer series paper? You can order right now before the new catalog even comes out. You like to pick up the Butterfly Brilliance bundle or the Butterfly Bite paper, you can buzz over to marisaAlvarez.stampinup.net. And if you've got questions about the project, if there's anything I can do to help you stay crafty, email marisa@kitchentablestamper.com. Thanks for watching.